Hey book lovers, Kaylee here and welcome back to the Enchanted Library. A little while ago I did part 1 of my book haul, which covered all the books that I picked up at the end of December from Chapters Indigo, and today I'm bringing you part number 2, which is all the books that I ended up getting from Book Depository. When I say all the books, there is one that is missing. I know it takes over a month for me to get Book Depository books, but this is taking a very long time and I feel like it's probably lost in the mail. So I just figured that instead of waiting even longer, I would film this now. So the reason that I ended up going to Book Depository is because they actually have a lot of books that I can't seem to find anywhere else. I don't really like to shop through Amazon if I can help it, and Chapters shockingly doesn't have everything, but I ended up first picking up When Calls the Heart by Jeanette Oke. And this book is such a random selection, I feel like, because it has been around for a very long time. I ended up watching the show before I realized that it was a book, and I thought the show was adorable. I have stopped watching it because of a certain something that happens and my heart is broken, but I wanted to get back into that world. And after reading a book by Genevieve Graham that covers a lot of Mountie stuff, I wanted to read more about Mounties, and this seems quintessential to that. So this one covers a teacher named Elizabeth who ends up going to a small town where a Mountie is overseeing everything as constable, and it's just their life there and things that happen. It's going to be soft, it's going to be sweet, there's going to be some romance, but also just the general story of the time. The next book I picked up is another book that I had been told about when I was looking up Edenbrooke by Julianne Donaldson. It seemed like these two went hand in hand, and since I've read Edenbrooke from the proper romance title, I have wanted to find more. So I ended up picking up Lakeshire Park, and that's by Megan Walker, again under the proper romance header. So you know it's going to be wholesome, soft, historical romance. I'm here for it, I'm not gonna lie. This book has a woman who is going to become destitute along with her sister if she doesn't find her sister a proper match. They end up going to a house party at Lakeshire Park to meet a man for her sister. There is also a guy who has a sister and he wants to make a good match with the same gentleman that our leading lady is trying to match her sister with. So there's going to be some headbutting, there's going to be some haters to lovers romance here, and I am just so ready for it. Still sticking on with the proper romance train, we have The Lady and the Highwayman by Sarah M. Eden. This one I think is going to be such a fun adventure because you have two warring writers. You have a woman who is writing under a pen name, so then that way she can write the penny dreadfuls that all of the guys love, and then you have a guy who also writes penny dreadfuls, and he does not want this interloper getting in on his turf, essentially. So they're trying to figure out who this mystery writer is, who goes by Mr. King, who is actually our leading lady's pen name, and he ends up going to our leading lady, so then that way she can help him because she is also an author under her own name, and he wants her to help him find out who this Mr. King is. And so she is going off on these adventures that she always wrote about and read about while trying to keep him off of her scent of being actually Mr. King. So, mistaken identities, hidden secrets. I am again here for it and very excited. My last two books here are actually books that I have been wanting for years and years and years. Only reason that I have not picked them up is because the North American edition covers I really do not like, and I didn't want to read them and have them on my shelves. So I have been holding out for getting the UK editions, which I thought were going to be super expensive. But with Book Depository, it's not as expensive as I thought. Also, this isn't sponsored, by the way. The way that I just said that sounded sponsory. But I finally ended up getting my first Robin Hobb, and that is the Assassins Apprentice. I feel like everybody knows it. It is book 1 in the Farseer trilogy. These covers are beautiful, and now I can finally read this book and this series and just have an adventure with Robin Hobb. I hear that she is just like top tier fantasy writing, and I'm so excited to get into this. And lastly, we have this beautiful edition of The Final Empire, which is the first in the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. The title of this always trips me up because The Final Empire seems like it should be the last book in the series, but it's actually the first book in the series, so there you go. But aren't these covers just so gorgeous? I love how they're white with like a smoky effect. For 1,000 years the ash fell, for 1,000 years the Skaa slaved in misery and lived in fear. For 1,000 years the Lord Ruler reigned with absolute power and ultimate terror, divinely invincible. Every attempted revolt has failed miserably. Yet somehow hope survives. A new kind of uprising is being planned, one that depends on the cunning of a brilliant criminal mastermind and the courage of an unlikely heroine. A Skaa street urchin who must learn to master allomancy, the power of a mistborn. What if the prophesized hero had failed to defeat the Dark Lord? The answer will be found in the Mistborn trilogy, a saga of surprises that begins here. I'm so excited. This is going to be my first Brandon Sanderson. Again, have been aware of him for quite a long time, but did not want to pick up his books until I could get the UK editions, and now that I have them, I'm so excited. Now, these are both Assassins Apprentice and Mistborn. They're the start of a new series, and if you saw my video, The Catch-Up, I have a lot of series that I have to read. So these might be sitting around for a little while before I can get to them, because I do want to make a bit of a dent in the books that I need to finish for the series that I am reading already, but they're just so beautiful. And to be fair, I ordered them at Christmas and I've only just received them within the last week, so I didn't know how long it would take to get them. Now, the book that is missing is actually a book by Adele Klee. Like I said, I don't know if I'm ever going to get it, but we'll see. If that comes up, I might just show it on Instagram when it comes. But for now, that is all of the books that I ended up getting from Book Depository for part 2 of my first haul of the year. And as always, be sure to like this video. Let me know in the comments down below which of these books you think I should get to first. I know a couple of them are pretty obscure, so let me know if you're interested in me reading those first. And subscribe to my channel for more content. Hit the bell notification icon so that way you're aware anytime I post new videos. And until next time, keep reading.